Hello real estate investors. I just had a tenant move out of my eightplex. Let's go ahead and take a look and I'll show you how the tenant left it. Alright, so this tenant had been here I think about 6 years. The carpet wasn't new when they moved in, so as you can imagine, it's shot. It's going to have to be replaced. As always, I don't know what it is with apartments, but the windows are all broke, so none of them will stay open. So I'm going to have my window guy come over and fix all those. I put this in this summer, so I don't think there's anything I need to do with this except clean it up. At least I don't have to mess with that. The tenant mentioned that the outlets and switches, the outlets would not hold a plug, so I typically have been upgrading these to white, just something, I just think they look a lot better and it's cheap and fairly easy to do. There are a lot of drywall patches to make in this apartment. See, there's a lot of holes over here. So, a bunch of those to make. One of the things I'm thinking about is I supply the washer and dryer in all 8 of these units, and most of them still have the original ones put in by the builder in 1998. So these things are 25 years old. They're cheap and easy to fix, and I just keep fixing them and they keep working, but at some point they're going to need to be replaced. So I think I'm going to take these out and just have the tenant provide their own washer and dryer. That way I don't have the service calls and the capex of replacing them at some point in the future. Let me know your thoughts on that, but I think it's pretty standard that most places just have washer and dryer hookup unless you need a special stackable or something. So I don't think that's going to be a problem. The appliances all look to be in fairly good shape, so I should be able to just clean those up. We'll probably put on a new countertop just to make it look a little more modern. Don't know what I'm going to do with the frog yet. The cabinets, they're looking pretty rough, so we'll prime paint all those. So that's it in the kitchen, all besides the flooring dilemma. So I think this flooring is fine. My wife's telling me it absolutely needs to go. So obviously we're going to replace the carpet. So to me, the easiest thing to do would be to leave this in place and replace the carpet. Keep peace at home. I could put vinyl plank over top of this and then, of course, leave carpet. But the bigger job and more expensive job would be to put vinyl plank in this whole area, including out there, at least in the living room and hallway. The challenge is this vinyl plank's got 1/4 inch underlayment under it, so I'd have to tear out all this vinyl, the underlayment, and then of course the expense and time to put vinyl plank in the whole apartment basically, except for the bedrooms. So I'm still debating what I'm going to do on that. If you guys have any thoughts, leave them in the comments below. But part of it is I just don't have time to do a lot of work here, so I may just take the easy route. But love to hear what your guys' thoughts are. Back here in the bedroom, of course, we're going to paint all these doors. We'll get rid of this old guy and replace this thermostat with something a little newer. Drywall patches, blinds, kind of normal stuff in here. And for whatever reason, back then I was using these single bulb fixtures, probably because they were cheap, but they just don't put out enough light. So I'll take those down and put in a 2-bulb fixture. I just replaced the water heater about a month ago, so at least I won't have to mess with that. And as always, the missing smoke detector. In here, this door is busted. It's hard to patch these because of this grain. So what I think I'm going to try to do, so normally to patch these, you cut this hole out and then put some spray foam back there and then cover it with mud. And then you can attempt to make a grain pattern. It usually is not very successful. So what I think I'll do, I'll go ahead and patch this, and then I'm going to skim coat this whole door with hot mud to fill in the grain. And so basically just make it a flat door. So I think that'll work out. I haven't tried it before, but we're going to give it a shot and see how it turns out. In here, of course, we need flooring, new vanity, and this tub, unfortunately, going to have to be replaced. I patched it at some point in the past. You can see the drains just rotting away, so there's not really any way to save this, so we'll just put in a new tub in here. Back in this bedroom, bunch of the same stuff, new 2-bulb fixture, outlet switches. We'll take some high temp white paint and paint these baseboard heaters. That makes them look a lot better, a lot brighter. And then the AC here is new, but I just noticed this. There's been leaking, and I know why, because I didn't want to go up on a ladder when I put this in. You can see it's up pretty high, and caulk around the outside of it. So I have to try to get someone to come over and get up there and caulk around that. Of course, we'll replace this thing. And then down here, the lower units have a stairwell that go down to the garage. So this stairwell is shared by both tenants. And they're supposed to clean it, but obviously they're not. So in here is the garage. You can see it's a big garage space. It's really nice space. They left all these shelves, so I'm gonna have to break those down, throw them in the dumpster. Of course, another missing smoke detector. I typically don't do much in here. I may just hit this real quick with some kind of white paint or primer or something just to try to brighten it up and clean it up a little bit, but we're not going to do too much in here. I'm not going to get crazy trying to patch drywall or anything like that. We'll just try to clean it up and brighten it up in here. One thing I don't think I mentioned on the before video was there was quite a few dents, especially on the outside of this door. I used a product called MH Ready Patch, which is kind of like a Bondo consistency, but you don't have to mix it. It doesn't dry up near as fast as Bondo. I just think it's a lot easier to work with. So if you ever have to patch dents in a metal door, give that a shot. You can see we went with carpet in here, and I did that for a couple reasons. One was time, and the other reason it's saved me quite a bit of money. I had this carpet, a friend of mine sold all his rentals, and he gave me a roll of carpet and 8 rolls of padding. I believe it was 8 rolls. When he sold all his properties, so I was able to use it here. It only cost me the labor for my carpet guy to put it in. I also put carpet in the bedrooms that I got for free. This is really nice carpet, but my neighbor had this in his house for about a year, and he said it was wearing bad on the stairs, so he called the company he bought it from, and they did a warranty replacement on it. And I talked to the installers, and they were glad to give it to me. They didn't have to haul it to the dump, so it worked out well for both of us. In here, you can see we put vinyl. We extended it out in the hallway, right into the bath. Here in the kitchen, the vinyl used to end like right here at a diagonal. We moved it up to here because this would always get frayed. The carpet would always get frayed. So I was trying to reduce the traffic on carpet, so at least when people coming from the bedroom or the bathroom going to the kitchen, you know, it'll be on the vinyl rather than all that traffic on the carpet. So hopefully it will last longer. Time will tell. But this did have 2 layers of underlayment here in the kitchen. So we tore all that out. So it's all the same level now. So if I do in the future want to put vinyl plank in here, it'll be a pretty easy installation. In the kitchen, I replaced all the light fixtures with 2 bulbs, except in the hallway. I thought 1 bulb was fine. You'll see the washer and dryers are still here, and it's because the people I'm leasing it to, the lease is over there, we're getting ready to do it in about a half an hour. This is their first apartment. They didn't have a washer and dryer, so I just added an amendment to the lease that says I'm not responsible for maintenance and they have to haul it away when they're gone. I did replace the water lines. I didn't want to put 25-year-old lines back in. I did have to rebuild these valves. They were leaking by, but just put a seal on those and replace them. Kind of funny story about the tenants that moving in here. The girl and her brother lived here up till she was 8, and now the brother is renting an apartment from me upstairs. She's renting this one, and their uncle lives in the apartment next door. So I've got, in an 8 unit, I've got 3 people from the same family, or 3 units rented to the same family. So we painted the cabinets. I used the Bear paint. I love that stuff. I just used a roller and a brush, and I got a pretty good finish, and I love it because it doesn't stick together. You always need to put these pads on, but with the Sherwin-Williams products I've tried, if they touch at all, it's going to stick and peel the paint off. This stuff says after 2 hours it won't stick. I added new hardware, and I put liner in where it looked really bad. It was really bad under this. So this is just a cheap way to make things look a little bit better. Yeah. So the appliances cleaned up pretty good. They're not perfect, but they cleaned up pretty nice. The major work was in this bathroom. So I tore out the old shower, put in a new one, put a new shower valve in, new toilet, new vanity. Of course, replaced the outlets and switches throughout the apartment. And this was the door that had the hole in it. So I spray foamed the hole, covered it with hot mud, and skim coated the whole door to cover up the grain. And I can still see a little bit of it, but this patch almost completely disappeared. And every time I tried to patch these doors, here's one with the grain in it, it looks horrible. So if you have to patch one of those, give that method a try. I think it turned out pretty good. So in here we painted all the trim, walls agreeable gray. Put a new 2-bulb fixture. The baseboard heaters that looked really bad, I just spray paint them with some high temp paint. It's pretty easy to do, and it doesn't cost a lot, and it does make them look a lot better. Closet doors, this is the same pulls. They were gold before and looked pretty bad, so I just spray painted those, and I think those turned out pretty nice. Look pretty nice. In here in the bedroom, pretty much all the same. I did replace these and changed out the light fixture. I wish I would have replaced this one too, but I thought I could clean it up. It doesn't look that great, but it is what it is. So this place, I'm not going to show you the garage. All I did down there was clean up and tear down the shelving. So this place was rented before for $800, and now I'm renting it for $1,000, which is probably still under market, but I was able to rent it quickly when the girl's brother upstairs saw it was vacant. She called me up and wanted to rent it, so it worked out nice, and I'm finally done with this one and on to the next one. So if you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them below, and thank you for watching.